Hello everyone and welcome in. Today is Thursday, June 13th, and we'll be taking a look at what all energies want to come through for you from God, Spirit, the Divine. So we will start with the energies for the collective in general and then take a look sign grouping by sign grouping at what some of the challenges are and what advice wants to come through from Spirit. So today I felt compelled to use the dog cards as the energy for the collective and the housewife cards as the energy for each of the individual sign groupings. So just felt drawn to changing it up a little bit. And also make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell to be alerted when new videos post to the channel. I will be doing the videos for the second half of June here. And those will be coming up in the next day or so. All right, well, let's jump in and see what all wants to come through for the collective. We have the Magician. We have the Star, and we have the High Priestess in reverse. So a lot of big energy coming through for the collective. All of them are major arcana cards. The Magician, that's about transmuting lead into gold. That's about manifesting and kind of taking control of your destiny, taking control of your life experience and transforming things that are holding you back. And then we have the Star card following that. So this is about moving out of situations where you may be feeling unfulfilled and unhappy and really working on manifesting and bringing in those blessings. The Star card is about blessings from the universe. We do have the High Priestess in reverse, so that's a little bit energetically, that's kind of coming up against or butting heads with the rest of this energy, because in the High Priestess in reverse is about kind of feeling blocked off from your inner wisdom, from your higher consciousness, because this here is the divine feminine energy, which is about connecting with your higher self. And so in the reverse, for some of you watching, if you're divine feminine, it could be that you just kind of feel cut off from some of that intuition, from some of that, I'll call it, higher direction. So we'll see how to get you plugged back in and reconnected so that you can more effectively work on manifesting. So today, let's start with our water signs for today. That's going to be our Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Seems like it's been a while since we started with them, so we will start there and see what all messages want to come through. So to start with, we will take a look at what are the challenges for our water signs. And the first one that jumped, it was the Star in reverse, and then the Hanged Man. So for our water signs, you could be dealing with something that's really big right now, like a major life event, because all 5 of the cards that have come out so far have been major arcana cards. You do have the Star in reverse, so that's kind of this sense of, feeling like you aren't really getting your blessings, like feeling like you're in this Hanged Man energy, which is, it's an intentional pause, like you're trying to take a look at things from a different standpoint, but that's your challenge. So with this being in the challenge space, it's something where you're feeling like you're locked out of your blessings. And what you need to do is you need to take, call it that pregnant pause, that intentional, deliberate pause to try to see things from a different perspective. So that's what you're being challenged to do in order to flow with the rest of this energy. And especially with having the High Priestess in reverse as one of the energies that's coming in, it's like you're getting sucked in too much to that energy and not letting the positive energy flow. Like you're kind of getting sucked in on this lower vibration type of energy, and it's making you kind of question everything else that's going on. We have our Hierophant in reverse. So this is the energy about breaking out of things that are no longer serving you. For some of you, since the Hierophant also often represents marriage, it could be some of you are considering, how do I break out of what's not really serving me here? So that doesn't necessarily mean that you are leaving that marriage, but if there's tensions, struggles, conflicts, it's that energy of how do we break out of that? And you're being challenged to take a moment. Oh, some of these cards are jumping. You're being challenged to take a moment and sit back and look at it from a different perspective so that you don't keep getting stuck in this, oh, why do we have the same argument over and over? All right, now we'll take a look at some of our oracle cards and see what wants to come through there. Ambush your fear with your ferocious dream. And this is about if you're scared and worried about this situation, and you're worried, well, what if this falls apart? What if this? What if that? Like, dream big and follow along that path instead of letting yourself get sucked into the other direction. Because when you look at it here with the energy coming in, 2 out of the 3 cards are about empowerment and, kind of looking at the Magician card, using your energy to create positive change to bring in blessings. And then you have this energy of, with the High Priestess in reverse, this energy of feeling kind of cut off from things. And so you do have a lot of good positive energy. And which way are you going to go? Which way are you going to be drawn? Are you going to be drawn into the, I'm worried about this, I'm nervous about this, I'm scared about this? Or are you going to say, you know what, this is the life I'm dreaming of. This is the life I'm trying to manifest. And this is what I'm going after. All right, let's pull a couple more oracle cards. Your guides are listening. So ask your guides for help. If you're struggling with feeling like, how do I get myself out of this funk? Like, one of the important questions you can ask is, rather than where is it that I'm supposed to go over here, is what is the next step? Just the next step, please. You don't have to figure out 20 steps from now where you're going or what you're doing, but just asking for what is the next step, even if it's just, one day at a time, 1 week at a time, looking at baby steps to figure out what you need to do to move yourself into that, more of that abundant energy of blessings. Make sure you're asking your guides for help. Then we have powerful. May you be as potent as the ocean. And this is having that trust, having that faith that you have the ability to implement change in your life, and you have the ability to do that, knowing that you do, as you work on manifesting, as you work on bringing yourself into alignment and bringing your experience here into alignment with you. It's very important that you believe that you can do it, that you're the one that's in control of your life, not, everybody else around you. So that is the message for our water signs. And next we are on to our air signs. So that is our Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We're going to take a look and see what all messages want to come through for you. And we will start with the challenges. So what are the challenges, please, as it relates to our air signs? All right, you have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So in your challenge space, you've got this sense of a little bit of like laziness and kind of letting things slide. And this is like letting the quality slide, or you're just not as invested from a resource perspective. And remember, when we talk about resources, that's going to be your time, your energy, your money. So your challenge is, when it comes up like this, with the challenge being laziness, for some of you, it may be that you've just totally thrown your hands up and you're like, I don't know, I just want to wallow away. But for those of you, and you'll know which one you are in terms of how this resonates. But for some of you, if you're used to being the one that does everything all the time for everybody else, then this card, this challenge card, it's almost like the universe is challenging you to be a little bit more lazy. Like, don't always rush in and be go, go, go. Don't always rush in and try to save someone from their situation. Sometimes life lesson wise, people need to learn how to solve their own problems. If you're always rushing in and solving it for them, then you're not necessarily helping them to build up good life skills. And this will be true if it's, you know, from a job perspective, from a relationship perspective, from a parenting perspective. I remember when I was working and I had sent in, this was at a big corporate America company, and I had sent in a check request to the accounting department to pay one of our vendors. And it was taking forever. So I walked down to the accounting department and I'm like, this is supposed to be a 2-day turnaround. And it's been like a week and a half. Like, what's going on? I need to get this check paid. She's like, I have too much work on my plate. So if you want, here's my boss's name, and you can tell them that it's taken forever. And at first it was that sense of, oh my gosh, like seriously, it would take you what, 5 to 10 minutes to do this? I'm standing at your desk. Like, why can't you get this done? This is going through my mind. I'm not saying it, but then it was funny. She said, yeah, because the thing is, I work my hours. I'm going home at 5 o'clock. If I always work overtime, if I'm always staying here late, if I'm always doing all this to make sure everything runs smoothly, then the company doesn't ever feel like we're short staffed, and they're not compelled to hire somebody because I'm picking up all the slack for the fact that they're short staffed and they need to hire somebody. And it was weird. So I thought about it and I'm like, that's actually a really empowering way to look at it. And, you know, similar if you have kids, if you swoop in every time, like, oh, mommy, I can't tie my shoes. Oh, let me do it for you. Let me do it for you. They're never learning how to tie their shoes. All they're learning is if they sit there and say, I can't do it, someone else does it for them. So this, for some of you, this card is actually encouraging you to stop trying to swoop in and help solve everybody's problems and help encourage them to learn how to solve problems on their own. And the energy coming in here, the Moon card in reverse. So in reverse, this is about like what lies or illusions are you telling yourself? Normally in the upright is kind of that sense of there's other illusions. There's, you know, somebody's trying to trick you. In the up or in the reverse, it's kind of like what are you telling yourself? Like what story or narrative are you telling yourself in order to keep going in what you're doing? And especially as it relates to this push-pull here between, you have this energy of, you know, with this high priestess in reverse, it's kind of like this energy, you know, some secrets, like not really connecting in with your inner wisdom. And you're kind of cut off there with the high priestess in reverse and the moon in reverse. So it's kind of like you're cut off from your intuition because you're telling yourself a different story. Like you're telling yourself whatever narrative is serving you. So what you need to do is focus on what can you do within your world, within your experience here, to transform it and bring in those blessings. All right, let's take a look here. Oh, apparently I grabbed two. Change maker, make waves, and you, the muse. You are the co-creator of your experience. That goes along with the muse is going along with the magician card. You have the ability to manifest and to create situations and experiences that you want. You have the power to make these changes within your life. And it reminds me of that movie, I think it was from the 90s, The Wedding Date, with Deborah Messing and, I don't know, one of those rom-com actors from the 90s. But he, in this article, he wrote that every woman has the love life that she wants, or like something to that effect. And Deborah Messing's character is like, what do you mean? You think I want this, you know, this terrible situation? And it was kind of that whole thing of, if you didn't, you would change it. You would do something different. So it's kind of that whole feeling with the magician and you, the muse. What do you want? Do you want your story to be one of, oh, I'm trapped in this situation and oh me, oh my, because it'll make it more dramatic when I make this transformation? Like, is that what you're looking for? And is that why you're repeating in certain cycles? In 20 years, what will you remember? And this, you know, And this kind of goes along with, what is that story that you're telling yourself? So if part of the problem is that you are creating this false narrative, sounds like you're intentionally telling yourself a story. But if you're creating a narrative that is skewed or not balanced, or, like I said, I don't want to use the word false narrative because that implies that you're intentionally making up grandiose stories one way or the other. But if you have this not exactly true or realistic narrative, what is the purpose? Is it because you love the fairy tale transformation, and so you're hoping, well, if I do this, I'll get this big fairy tale transformation at the end? Or what, what is the story that you're telling yourself? How do you want to look back and remember this place in your life? Reflect. May you discern and distill. And this is going to go with, 20 years from now, what are you going to remember? Sit in that stillness and be able to discern, what is it that you realistically want? Where is it that you think certain things are going versus what narrative do you have playing in your head that you're trying to see, how can I force my reality to go with this narrative versus saying, this is my reality, universe, show me what is possible. So it's kind of just a difference in reframing it. So that is the message for our air signs. And next we are on to our fire signs. So fire signs, that is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And let's see what messages we have for you. And we will start with our challenges. What are the challenges for Aries, Leo, Sag? Two of Wands in reverse. So this is this failure to plan and avoiding change. So that is your challenge, is that, you have this energy of being empowered. Like the universe wants to bring in blessings for you. And they're just asking, and the universe is saying, okay, stand in this magician energy of embodying change and, transform the world around you, because there's this blessing, like this dog over here that is pouring the water, and he's holding I thought he was holding a hose. That is, so not only is the dog, there's blessings that are being poured out of this one that he's holding, the barrel under his chin for this Saint Bernard, because classically the Saint Bernards have the barrel under their chin. There's blessings pouring out from the barrel under the Saint Bernard's chin. So there's blessings like all over the place if you can stand in this transformational energy. So you're being asked to stand in this transformational energy, and there's all these blessings, but this is, there's still this fear and this doubt. So with this high priestess in reverse, it's like you're disconnected from your higher intuition, and you're having all these uncertainties and this sense of kind of fears and doubts. And I don't really know, like you're very much stuck in this 3D mindset instead of being connected to your higher self, to your higher wisdom. And that's putting you in this, Two of Wands in reverse energy. And so this is, that energy of avoiding change and failing to make a plan. And the interesting thing with this one, when you look at this Two of Wands card, I'll hold it upright because it's easier to look at. So you have the lady, and she has, the broom and the mop, but there's two sets of hands. So it's one figure with two sets of hands. So it's not like she's holding one wand in each hand and trying to figure out what to do, or it's not like there's two characters and each are holding something. It's one lady with two sets of hands. So it's almost that sense of you don't know what to do and you're failing to make a plan. So rather than making a plan, it's like you're simultaneously making two sets of plans, because both hands are firmly on the mop, both hands are firmly on the broom, and it's all within the same person. So it has that feeling of, are you living a duplicitous? Is that the right word? duplicitous life where you don't really know what you want to do. So you don't want to make the wrong decision, or you feel like, oh, I'm going to make the wrong decision. So instead of making a decision, I'm going to keep running both paths because I'm scared to take a leap one way or the other. So that's in the challenge space, is that you're living that kind of sense of double life there. And energetically, the Emperor in reverse is coming up. Now, the Emperor in reverse is going to be that sense of, it's almost like that wounded masculine energy, rather than being the strong leader that has all this wisdom. It's kind of like, I'm the leader, but I don't know what to do. So I'm just going to order people around and tell them what to do. Not from a place of wisdom and balance, but like from a place of fear. So that's kind of going with the, I don't really know which path to take. So I'm just going to go down both, and I'm going to, no, this is the path we're going down. No, this is the path we're going down. So it's that sort of gritty energy coming through for our fire signs. You are light. And this is that reminder that you are light. You're not a physical 3D being. You have a body. You are not that body. You are consciousness. You are soul. And whatever is going on in the 3D, that does not define who your soul is or what your soul is. That's just the experience of this 3D avatar. So remember, as you're struggling, well, oh, am I going to do this? Am I going to do this? Which direction? You're not your 3D body. You are the light within it. This one, remember, you chose this lesson. If you're struggling, especially if you're struggling with something where you feel like, oh my gosh, I've been in this forever. Like, why is this decision looping over and over and over? And why do I just keep going round and round? Remember that you chose the lesson. And when you look at the blues in there, like from her coat or her dress underneath the coat, you chose the lesson. You chose that you were going to have this path that you needed to make a decision about. So what are you going to decide? Alive, may you delight in vitality. So what brings you that sense of life? What brings you that sense of adventure? What brings you that sense of like feeling that high vibration within your soul? That's where, when you're trying to decide which way to go and like you're avoiding making a change, move towards the high vibration, because that's what's going to put you in alignment. That's what's going to help make your soul feel like it's here doing what it's supposed to be doing. When you're too busy putting out all of these 3D fires, when you're too busy doing all of that, you're not actually doing what you're supposed to be doing here. Like, you're not doing what you came to this earth to do. So that is the message for our fire signs. And last but not least, we have got our earth signs. That is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's take a look and see what is coming up in the challenge space for Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. In the challenge space, we have the Emperor. Your challenge is to be to stand in your divine masculine energy. Your challenge is to embody that loyal, balanced leader type of energy, as opposed to the knee-jerk reaction, low vibe. Like, your challenge is to embrace your experience with a calm and balanced type of energy to yourself. And once you can sit in that energy, you'll be able to sit in the Magician and the Star energy. All right. So here we have the Sun, and this is about those blessings coming in. So when we think about it, the Star is that energy of like optimism and wishing and hoping for the future. It's like, oh, there's all these blessings that are going to be coming in. And I think about it this way in terms of the difference between the Sun and the Star. With the Star, when you wish upon a star, that's That's your hope. That's your drive for the future. The sun is the blessings are actually here. Like they're here right now. So for you earth signs, the push is when you can stand in this emperor energy, like when you, as the challenge, when you can stand in this emperor energy, then the blessings are going to start coming in. Like that's what the universe wants for you, is to bring in these blessings for you. And the emperor energy is going to push out this high priestess in reverse, the sense of like secrets or uncertainty, or I don't really know. Like if you can embody this emperor energy, it'll pull your intuition back in. Overthinking can spoil the magic. And that's a matter of, as you work on, and I'm going to say this going with the magician. The magician is all about transforming. It's all about manifesting and changing your experience. If you're overthinking, it will spoil the magic. It will spoil the work of the magician when you're overthinking, overanalyzing, over worrying. Well, what if this? Well, what if that? Well, what if this? Take a step away from your current problem. And that can help if you feel like you're getting drawn in too much to whatever the dynamic is. If you're strung too tight, you may just need to take a step back and let other parts of life take center stage in your thoughts. Journey, may you seek adventure. And those colors go really well together. And, you know, like the bottom part here with this, and this is not the color I intended when I was painting these. It's just that's how it came out with the green and the gray together, is that color there. May you seek adventure. So take a step away from your problems and seek adventure. Do something that's going to light your soul up, and it will help you figure out what you need to do to address situations that are keeping you low vibe. And this is interesting. Magic. May you flow with the divine. So for you, earth signs, you have 3 cards in here that have to do with magic from different decks, and the decks are not magic in nature. So the fact that you have that, you need to shift yourself out of this gritty 3D experience that you're in right now. So that's coming through very strong for our earth signs here, especially, you know, with these colors coming through the way they are. You really need to step out of whatever is keeping you low vibe right now. Step into something different. Step into the magic, and, you know, the magic of the moonlight here, and allow yourself, give yourself permission to be happy and to follow those high vibe feelings. So that is the message that is coming through for our earth signs. As always, take only what resonates, and I hope this message has been helpful for you, and I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time.